Hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on CNBC News, NBC Sports Radio Station, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.3, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, JioSaavn, and more. And, excuse me. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So there's no gossip on this show. Well, maybe a tiny little bit. No scandal and no K words, no Kardashian talk, no Kanye talk. Nothing that doesn't really matter in your life, because I want you to be happy 88% of the time. So I bring you topics and guests. Coming up, we've got Lucille Ball's daughter. We just had the Waltons. I'm going to get an award next Monday on the air, a Lifetime Achievement Award. So tons of wonderful stuff. And we have gerbils in the background. Sam, so something is not turned off again that does that little echo. But I also do special series. As you can see in the studio, I have one of my favorite, well, I can't say that because the other co-host will be mad. One of my only male, my favorite male co-host. It is Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and
Sam Works.
this morning, and we have a great show lined up for you because Sam's been wanting to meet my newest second newest co-host, Elan Carter. So she's coming on at the halftime to meet Sam. I just assumed you've never met a Playmate before. Have you? Okay, good.
No, this will be my first.
Oh, good. So welcome back to the studio, my co-host for Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and
Sam Works.
It is Sam Works. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm happy and grateful. And we'll jump into the gratitude sandwich because we can unpack it there. But for those of you who don't know what gratitude sandwich is, or taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich, it is a way to force you on the way to work to be positive. And also, if you're just waking up now, to also be positive and get out on the right side of the bed. So it goes in the background like a little squirrel. What does that sound?
It's probably one of the monitors or something.
Oh, because it happened there too.
Here, let me see if this helps. I'm gonna move to a different spot in the studio.
This is what you get when you make your sound engineer a co-host. Is that we're trying to play around in the studio. All right, so 8 specific gratitudes at the top of the button, 8 specific appreciations for yourself, and you can play along. I do see eyeballs in the studio. So if you would like to put your gratitude in the chat, we can count it towards the 8, and then the appreciations you do before bed, but we'll prime you so that you can have it ready for tonight. All right. First thing I'm going to be grateful for is I'm grateful that I have empathy for people who have allergies. I haven't had an allergy attack. Let's see if it's working. I haven't had an allergy attack since college, which was maybe a couple years ago. I'm ageless. Let's see. Is that any better?
I don't know. Does it sound better?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm away from the studio, so I can't press any buttons.
Okay. So I'll push the buttons. I'll push your buttons. I'm grateful that I don't often have allergy attacks because whatever came across yesterday, I took a COVID test, not COVID, but I've been sneezing and sniffling, and wow, what a difference a non-allergy head is compared to right now. I took a Benadryl and I'm like, whoa, not like last night. So, anyways, I just did 2 gratitudes. Your turn.
Well, I'm very grateful that I got rid of my sickness. I was sick this last week. A lot of people were sick this last week, so I'm glad I got over it. And I'm glad that I have people around me to take care of me when I'm sick. And I don't get sick that often, so when I do, I feel pretty miserable. So, I have people that take care of me, so I'm very grateful for that.
Did you have COVID?
No, I took a COVID test and everything was
Okay.
good.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on because I don't the allergies are really but other than that, I don't feel sick. You know that feeling when you're sick, like you had when you're just like, ugh. Yeah, I don't feel like that, but I'm just like,
I don't know which one's worse.
I think yours is worse because I still feel okay. I just have like Kleenex burn here from blowing my nose so much. Anyways, how many are we on? See, the Benadryl.
You're on 3. You're on 3.
I am on 3. I am grateful that I took a life Asian exam of 155 questions last night for 3 hours, but I finished in an hour and I double checked it in another hour and I passed. So,
okay.
yeah,
So
it was a long time since I've been taking tests, but this is so I can take care of the financial side for my loved ones in life insurance and all of that. So if you have those, if you haven't gotten it and you want it, you want an agent, I figured I'd like cover all the bases on happiness, right? Mental, physical, and financial. All right, go ahead.
Another thing that I'm grateful for is car auto shops. And let me tell you why. Me and my brother have the worst luck with our cars, and day in and day out, they break down. It's not like, even if we have like a nice, decent car, like, we hit something in the road or there's something in the freeway or something damages the car. It's ridiculous. Or like the head gasket pops off for no reason, And so we've been taking our cars there recently. And I'm glad there's one that we can just keep going to,
Yay. And then from this point forward, you and your brother are only allowed to notice when your car's working well, like every morning when it does do something, when it doesn't break down or whatever, just go, I love you. I do this to my car. His name's Panda. He's black and white. And because I have a feeling anytime there's something that's regular, that's law of attraction. And if you are, oh, here we go again, another thing I can't believe. And that just brings stuff, over and over. So just like, what do you got to lose? Right? See what happens.
Okay.
That's the deal. If your brother's listening, this is Dr. Marissa's challenge for you. All right. I am grateful that Elan's coming at the half hour to meet Sam. And this is the first time I think I've had cross-pollination on my co-host. Sam's getting excited. Those of you who've been on Fridays as Tempting Conversations with Elan Carter, because she's the daughter of Otis Williams, the founder of the Temptations. Did I take you to see that show? Or you couldn't come?
No, I went.
Oh, you were there? Oh, okay. Wasn't that incredible?
Yeah, it was really nice. And the best part was that we're supposed to be on the second floor balcony, and then we got to go front row seats.
Yes, we did. And actually, you manifested some of that yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
I went to get you, and you were already there. But anyways, I am grateful that I did not go crazy on the day after Thanksgiving when Love My Body Project 2.0. I
Mm.
lost 35 pounds. And then I said something about where should I go and celebrate? And Sam's like, no, don't go. Don't gain it back. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm happy to tell you that not only I lost 0.2 from Valentines already. So I'm at a new low again. So
Nice.
so don't worry, be happy. Love My Body Project 3.0 has started.
Nice. I like to hear that. That's really good.
I know you do. Nah.
I'm trying to gain weight. So
Oh, I hate people that say that.
really.
Yeah, because when you have a difficult time losing weight and somebody says, because my husband used to say that and drove me crazy. So
Grass is always greener on the other side, right?
well, I think it's the sensitivity too. Like when you let's say you say I have difficulty doing that and then someone says to you, "Oh, it's so easy for me." It's kind of that same vein.
Mm,
You see?
yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to like gain points, especially when you're dating, I would not say that. Just say it. Just say it.
Well, can I tell you why
No.
I've always
Go
been trying to
ahead.
gain weight? So when I was a freshman in high school, okay, I was just like right now I'm peaking 190. But when I was a freshman in high school, I was like maybe 100 pounds. I was super light. I was a little, skinny kid. The girl that I was dating was the only person in high school that made fun of me. She was like there's guys that would come up to me and her, and she's like, "Oh, like you're dating Sam Works, like, bro, he can fly, or like he's so strong." Da 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 da. I had girls come up and say the same thing, but she was the only one in front of me that was like, "Sam, like he's a twig, like da 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 da." And then we broke up. So ever since then, I was like, "I'm gonna prove you wrong," with everything that you thought. And so I always try to be as big as I can get. So maybe it's not
Uh,
healthy for me, but that's just how it is.
well, okay. So we both have some. Oh, you got a finger for that. That's or maybe I got that finger. A thumbs up. But let's talk about that for a second before I forget. We're still having breakfast. This is our breakfast talk now. Um, I call that negative motivation, and I have the same thing, right? So something that happens when you're young that makes such an impression on you, but it is really not true. You fight against it for the rest of your life. That's negative motivation. So you with the twig and me with the guy that drove by me and said in his bicycle and took one look at me and went, ugly. And I will never forget that. And when my mom said, fat, you're ugly, you're fat, you're ugly, and you're clumsy. So that negative motivation, right, is something that motivated me to go into modeling, motivated me to, unhealthily lose a lot of weight when I was a teenager, unhealthily, and it continues to dog me in my head. And it's not healthy because well, for you it's not true. You're totally not I'm not saying don't do what you want to do to feel good about your body, but if you're doing it, like, I know that that thing makes me have a warped look at myself. When I look in the mirror, I don't see what most other people see, right? I see through the lens of the idiot that was on his bike who said, ugly. And so no matter how I look, until I can say, he was an idiot. And at the time, to be honest, I had really thick glasses and I was not fat. I was puffy. I was a little chubby. I used to get called a chunk, which is a fat chink, which is really another voice. That's a horrible voice. And let's see what else bad. So then I attracted, because I didn't get rid of those voices, because I let those voices dominate my life. And you're young enough, that's why I'm giving you this little Dr. Marissa lecture, is to carry that on for decades. Will begin to attract people who also have an issue or will criticize you. That whatever reason your ex-girlfriend did that was nothing to do with you. That was her own issues with whatever. And you don't have to take that on. Same with me. And I'm the only one that can say that's not true. Because you can tell me, oh, Dr. Marissa, that's not true. You're beautiful. And I'll go, thank you very much. And then in my head, I'm still carrying that crap. So I have to be the one to let it go. And that's the coaching that I do, that I love to do, is it's recognizing that you are not that critic in your head. You are not that, I'm going to prove you wrong. That's a dangerous place. So I know I'm not talking to you, but I am talking to whoever is still carrying that voice in their head, is get your balanced, centered muscle of who you really are, on the gym floor. Because that's why we do the gratitude sandwich, and with the appreciation, because I know 88% of the time I'm not ugly. I know 88% of the time I'm not fat. And I'm still a little clumsy, but 88% of the time I'm not clumsy. And so I'm not going to attract a man like I did with my husband, who introduced me as obese to his friends out of earshot of me. So that's our work.
So I think my work is finished in a sense, because that negative motivation had a positive outcome. And I'll tell you why. Years later, I showed up to a party and I was walking through the front door, and she was walking with her boyfriend through the front door, and she looked at me, and I read her lips, and I heard her say, "Is that Sam?" And I walked in with a smile. I said, "Yep." And I proved her wrong. So therefore my mission or whatever it was, my negative motivation was no longer there, because I knew she was like, dang, you know what I mean? So that kind of fixated the whole situation. But then I understand, when people see you, they see what you have. But when you see yourself, you see what you want, and maybe you're not there yet. You always want more. So I guess there's that unsatisfactory, that you'll always be chasing. So yeah, love yourself now, love your body, and progress. So
you nailed it. That's exactly it. Because I was thinking, when you said that, I'm going to prove you wrong, I remember hearing Howard Stern, and I don't really listen to him a lot, but this one really important day, he said, he lives to cross paths with the girls that he asked out that turned him down in high school, to say, look at me now. Are you sorry that you didn't go out with me? That prove you wrong, F you energy. And I thought, this man is so unhappy, right?
Yeah.
No matter, and that's what you said. I should have wrote it down. It's you see what you want. That's it. You see what you want instead of what you have.
Yeah.
That's really good. And it's I don't know if you get that from me. But what I do say is, the definition of happiness is wanting what you have and having what you want, so that you're not looking at what you still don't have.
And that's why we do gratitudes in the morning.
Exactly. So let's get back to it. I'm grateful that I have a platform to spew more hope and happiness on, and that Sam is my wonderful partner in crime with that on Thursdays.
I'm grateful that I can, be able to tell my stories and have people relate and have like these conversations and talk about it and maybe give some people ideas and hope or false hope or whatever. But I like to talk about it. So I'm very grateful that I get to do that.
And we'll say we've done 8. Let's go to appreciations. Bottom of the button. What do you like about yourself? If you have issues with this, come work with me, because I know a lot of people who can't even think of one thing that they believe that's good about themselves. And I would bet $1 that you're one of the 7 out of 10 of us who've had childhood trauma. And one of the outcomes of that is not seeing yourself and approving of yourself, and always looking for love in the wrong places, asking others to approve of you. So this is an important exercise. I am doing my Get Happy Hour at the every last Friday of the month. It's free. So go to drmarissa.life and sign up from 7 to 8 on StreamYard or Zoom, whatever link I end up giving you. And it's fun. And you can ask me anything about how to be happier, or your relationships, or how to write a best-selling book, or start a podcast. It's your hour, and I'm here for you. Take advantage of me on Friday night. All right. I appreciate that I like giving away stuff, that I can be generous 88% of the time.
Nice. I appreciate that I can cook, that I'm able to cook.
I'm still waiting. You keep telling me, you keep promising.
I'm making new recipes, you know, I'm trying to perfect it.
And when's I didn't get an invitation at Valentine's. Nothing.
Hey,
Nothing.
you know I don't celebrate Valentine's.
Yeah. Well, you haven't celebrated it outside of Valentine's either. I'm looking for true confessions of love. The joke is, like, you can see he's cute, right? So there have been rumors, you know, of us, and I do this with a lot of cute younger guys who say, you know, would you ever date me or something like that? And I look at them and I go, you're super cute, but you're a little too old for me. And the look on their faces is just perfect. What? My bonus sister goes, ew, that's gross. Okay, I appreciate that. I love to laugh, and I am funny 88% of the time, even though my husband told me I wasn't.
I appreciate that I love myself, and I love who I'm becoming, because I'm better than I was a couple years ago. You know, so I know I'm moving towards the right direction.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've seen you just, you know, in the time that I've known you from the beginning too. Yeah. You're adulting.
Yes.
Without losing your youthing. And last appreciation, I appreciate my ability to roll with the punches, whatever it is. I get back up, and I love my life.
There you go. I appreciate that I have stopped some of my vices in my life, and I want to continue to do better in life and grow. So.
All right. That is it for having breakfast with Dr. Marissa and
Sam Works
with our gratitude sandwich. And let me just see if she's up. This is early for her. It's bad enough that I make her get up for the Friday show. So we'll see. We're going to do a Valentine's autopsy, because it is, you know, one of those days that is supposed to be a holiday, and people like Sam do not celebrate it. There's a bunch of people who don't celebrate it. That's tongue in cheek. It is SAD Day, Single Awareness Day, and yesterday was Love Reset Day. And I didn't even know that existed. But because some people have such a bad time or their expectations are not met on Valentine's, that the day after Valentine's is a time for self-reflection and introspection of what is working and what is not in terms of their love life. So there she is. Yippee! Just in time.
Hi, how are
Just
you?
in time. There she
I barely
is.
made it on time.
I just
Oh my
texted
God.
you.
I'm so sorry. I have dogs and they hurt me get on this morning. And you know, Sam, I have the hardest time getting up in the morning. So I'm always like struggling and I was running in here.
Sam, tell her what I just said.
I don't know what you just said.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
no, before she came in, I said, and Elan's coming in, but mornings are difficult for her. I already make her get up for the Friday show, and now I'm doing it on Thursday for you, Sam, because Sam
Thank
Works
you.
wanted to meet my Friday co-host, Elan Carter. She is an extraordinary human being. She's one of my new BFFs. She is beautiful inside and out. She's the daughter of founder Otis Williams of The Temptations, which is why it's called Tempting Conversations on Friday. You'll see her tomorrow morning, and we get to talk about a whole host of beautiful things that are tempting to talk about and keeping it real. Sam was my sound engineer and is moving to focus more on his career stuff, but he will continue to be my co-host. I co-opted him by making him do the gratitude sandwich first, and then he became my co-host. Elan is also managing one of my favorite musicians, her son, Chase Austin, who is didn't fall far from his grandfather's musical tree. And she's also a producer. She danced on Soul Train. I don't know if you're too young to remember that, Sam. Sorry. She's the love interest on Bobby Brown's music video that he did right after he married Whitney Houston. She's been on Aerosmith music videos. She's been a Playmate. She did her stint at the Magic Castle at the Howard Hughes. What is that place called?
The Playboy Mansion.
Playboy Mansion. So please welcome to my studio.
Sam, you have a camera face, so you should be in front of the camera.
Well, thank you.
That?
I appreciate that.
Oh, that was a
compliment. He has a camera
compliment.
face, so you should be in front of the camera, not behind the camera.
Thank you. Yeah, and honestly, Dr. Marissa, I board up her show on Tuesdays mornings and she hates it. She's like, I wish you're as good as you are my co-host than my board op.
Well, it's good to know he actually listens when I yell at him. Sometimes it's just like he's so like, yeah, okay, yeah. And I'm like, which is good, because if he got as upset with me as I am with him, it would not be pretty. But when he doesn't hit the button on time, I'm like, and then he's like, oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Usually I'm struggling because I'm not hitting the correct button. And then I'm trying to get on because I'm like, oh, I need someone here to help me to hit the right button.
Yeah, multitasking's hard.
No, it's just that when it's technical stuff, I'm just like challenged, right? Like I'm always struggling to get on.
You're doing
the
fine.
Camera. I know how to check my emails.
We're not affirming that anymore. You're a brilliant, quick learner, and
I'm a quick learner. I just know my challenges. I know my lane. You know, I have my daughter who's like, you know, of course, she's 14 and she's like computer whiz. I go like, hey, do this. She goes, okay, so I have her to do it. So why do I need to do it when she does it for me? But she went to school this morning, so she did
exactly.
She set this up though. She did before
she
she
did.
left.
All right,
Yeah,
good job, London. Good job. So, Sam, you get the floor. Our overarching topic is Valentine's autopsy, which could be your relationship autopsy, your romance autopsy. What is not going well, and how do we make that into a new, this new season of love and romance from this point on, kind of like a New Year's resolution, but for your love life. So that is sort of the why I said Valentine's autopsy. I thought that was funny. Obviously, it's just funny in my own mind, but I thought that would be something fun to talk about. But we can talk about anything. Sam, this is you're the one like, when is the Lord coming down? So it's your turn.
Okay, so Valentine's for me, to me, it's kind of a joke, and I'll tell you why. Because I have a history for whatever reason. I had two girlfriends back to back, like in a row, where we broke up on Valentine's, and it's not because
convenient, Sam. Go ahead.
Right, and I want to say Valentine's is almost irrelevant because in a relationship, like I told my last girlfriend, I was like, I think every day should be Valentine's. You know what I mean? So it's like, why on this occasion or this day we have to, express our feelings for each other when we should be doing it every day, And I guess it should be something. I guess it should be something special, but at the same time, like I put 100% in every day, all the time. So it's like.
So I think for a woman's perspective, this is very interesting. You guys brought this topic up because I was talking to a friend of mine who lives in New York, and she's a little bit older. She's not older, but she's like compared to you, she's in her 40s, right? She's she's dating a younger man. I think he's like 31 or 32. And she asked me how my Valentine's went because she said she was frustrated. She's dating this guy. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to send you something. It's not a big deal. And she was really upset. Well, she's been married before, but she was really upset because he didn't think enough to do anything for her. So, because you don't think that it's a big deal. For a woman, it's a big deal. It's not the fact that you don't spend every day that's special. It's just that day shows us that you think enough of us, right? Just like if you get a Christmas present for someone and you just hurry up and just go to like Bloomingdale's and just buy a bottle of perfume. You didn't put any thought into that, right? So that's the same thing as Valentine's. So what I said to her, I said, if you're dating someone so much younger and if they don't have the money, he could have done something like simply just cooked for her. Maybe you could pick some flowers, right? You pick some flowers and put some aluminum foil on it. So even if it's not a money thing for men, I think they take it as, oh, it's a financial thing. I have to show her. I have to bring her something big. That's not it. It's the thought. And because it means if you care enough about that woman, girl, whoever, then if it means something to her, it's just you making the effort. Will go a long way. Like I tell my son, little things, just small things, you'll be surprised. Like, of course, he's like, oh, I don't want to be a simp. I don't want to be a simp. I go, that's the small things that make a big deal. And I think for the generation of, oh, I'll be wimpy, that's not true. It's the little things like, I'm going to cook for you, or just something really small. So even though you think that that's your perspective, as a woman's perspective, it's more of you showing that you care, that you think enough of me to think of me that day.
What did you say Trace said? I don't want to be a what?
It's a simp. That's what they say, a simp. He knows simp.
What's a simp?
Explain to her. I tried to tell her this before. I didn't know how to explain it.
What's a simp?
I mean, it's
is it like a wimp?
Like I don't want to be a wimp or a sucker. Like if the girl wants me to do something, like if I take her to dinner and I spend $100 on dinner and she's like, "Thank you, bye," and goes home and you don't get a kiss, then the guy would consider that being a simp, right? I spend $100 and I at least can get a kiss.
Yeah, because you're simping around,
Yeah,
we gotta pull up a dictionary
her, but she's not giving you energy. You don't want to look like a simp unless she's giving you something back. But I believe you have to do a little bit more in order to get a little bit back.
Fair enough. So for Valentine's, what about the guy in the relationship? Because a lot of guys, they put a lot of effort into this type of stuff, and then the girls, they usually just get ready for Valentine's. Like, what's the trade-off in that?
Okay, so for a guy, what's the end game for Valentine's Day?
It's called the day of prostitution.
Exactly. So really, it's your day. It's just that what you do to get it what you want that day. It's just you might get extra that day. How much effort you put into it is how much effort you're going to get. You might get some extra tricks if you put some effort into it. I'm just saying.
Okay, so
because basically, if you buy us lingerie, the lingerie is for you, not for us. So then you could get some extra stuff with that lingerie. It's just how much effort you put into before you get those things for that day. That makes sense.
And if you've just tuned in, we are getting down literally here on Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa Sam Works with special guest today, Elan Carter here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere, including my YouTube channel. I see the eyeballs. Feel free to make some comments about all of this Valentine autopsy that we're doing here on the show. Okay, station ID done. Let's get down. So
Okay.
we've got.
It really is your day.
So what if like a woman is like on her cycle and she doesn't want, then what? Then it's like, hey, it's okay,
So
it's
she's
just
on
a day.
her cycle and you did your job, you still get tricks. Get it? It depends on what you do.
Tricks
So
are for kids.
Like every day is my day. Okay, so every day is your day, but she just may not feel like it. But that day you might have an extra like goodie day.
Okay. Have you had any bad Valentine's experiences?
I broke up with people who didn't get me a Valentine's present or a Christmas present. If you don't get me a Christmas present, you're out. I broke up with a guy. He got a brand new big screen TV and was like, "Oh, look at my big screen TV." Oh, I didn't have time to go for Christmas. I was like, "Really? Watch this." I broke up with him. Then he came the next year with a present. I'm like, it's too late. I got a new boyfriend now.
A whole year? Is that wow?
I broke up with him because he didn't get me a Christmas present or a Valentine's present. Just because it's like, I went to the 99-cent store and they had flowers and chocolate. I told my son, you could go to the 99-cent store. And she won't even know the difference, right? It's
right.
the God.
Exactly. I broke up with that guy from San Francisco over this whole thing around Valentine's gifts and flowers and all that. And he had the exact same attitude as Sam, which is, you have every right to have the attitude of saying, I don't believe in it. No. I treat every day as Valentine's. But honestly, do you? Like, are you that? Now, maybe Sam is, but I guess it's that, and this is where we're going to get into it. It's that traditional man versus woman, the provider versus the gatherer and the hunter, and the, I can do things for myself. Why is it that we say I can do things for myself, and yet I want you to do this for me on this particular day because it's expected of you? So it's, it is confusing, I'm sure, for men growing up in this age where we want so much equality, but there are still some things that the traditional woman, I want it all. I want to be able to be that, powerhouse. And at the same time, I want to be a kitten and, petted and, treated and all of that at the same time.
But you didn't think about it being your day, did you?
Me?
No,
or Sam?
Sam.
Well, no, not necessarily.
See, I'm just telling you from a woman's perspective, it really is for you. It's just what you do to get us to do what you want us to do. If you're smart enough mentally, because women are mental about sex. That's all it boils down to.
Yeah.
If you get us in mental state, you can get us to do basically whatever you want. It's just that it's a mental thing. And men that are not sophisticated enough, as I say, because it doesn't matter how old you are, they never get it. That's really what it is. If she feels secure and happy, and you've got her. She has to feel secure and happy and protected, and you want her, and then you can get her to do what you want.
I replayed one of my interviews with Dr. Pat Allen. Have you heard of her, Elan? Oh, she's a hoot. She was on Oprah like 3-4 times. Oprah calls her the comic mother superior, and she just tells it like it is according to research, not just, her own opinion. And she's super strong. And she said yesterday, I've forgotten, that really women don't even want to have sex. Women's primary desire is to be cherished. And if you, cuddle her and pay attention to her and nurture her and, all of that, cuddle her, then, that's really all men really want is to have it in there. And if, that's their primary, that's all they think about.
Well,
And
their
that's
drive
all,
is different than our drive, right?
right. Yeah.
But
So it's
if you're hot now, if you're hot and dancing like Channing Tatum, like that movie, I saw that movie twice this week.
you were supposed to wait to see that with me. You were supposed to wait to see that with
my mom, right? My mom took me to see it.
Okay.
And then Bern called me the next day and said, I got tickets. I was like, I just saw it. She goes, let's go again. And we yelled the whole movie. So, look, you got
I'm going Friday. I'm going Friday. I was going to tell you, I'm sorry, I got to go Friday because I can't wait anymore.
Yeah.
That's my Valentine's date.
So men go to see it because Selma Hayek's in it. She's drop dead gorgeous. She looks amazing, right? She's her age. She still looks really good. So you see those two together, just the chemistry is such fire. It's really good. It's juicy.
Okay, so I'm going to make
juicy. I like that.
So, I think you both agree, and this is a little bit controversial, that women, if they want their man to be happy, need to maintain their body, their looks, their everything physical about them. And if they don't, and if a man says something like, do you want to go to the gym? Or, they don't know how to tell them, look, you've let yourself go, without saying you've let yourself go. And then there's the opposite side of a man should love the woman no matter what she looks like on the outside, and no body shaming, and no, the expectation that you should look the same or like a model is unrealistic. So go.
You want my perspective on that?
Yes. Yes, because I want to see. Sam's going to go.
Coffee down for this one, because I'm going to get some haters on this that they're not going to like my answer.
Same.
I agree with men 100% that a woman should keep herself up, because as you get older, like, men are physical about sex. I mean, they look at a woman and they get aroused by looking at her body, period. That's just the way it goes. And if you have kids, your body changes. It just changes. And then you have to work to get your body back down that weight, right? I remember when I had my daughter, I was living in London, and I sent a picture, and my girlfriend said to me, how does it feel not to have that model body? That's all she said, because I gained so much. I gained like 65 pounds. And I had just had the baby. 2 months later, I came back to LA. I was skinny again. I got on that treadmill. I mean, I worked out. I was like, what'd you say? For me, it was just like, oh, because it put things in perspective, because I didn't look like I did. And everything just went south. Now, everyone doesn't have the same body type. I get that. But how you met that person and how they physically was attracted to you from the beginning is what I think you should do your best to maintain. If that is changing your lifestyle with the way you eat, or go to the gym, or whatever you need, or do your hair different, and you may have to battle the weight loss or whatever. Because like I said, as you get older, we don't look the same. So I believe a woman should do everything she can to keep that man physically attracted to her. Now, Sam, what you think?
Well, for me, it's a little more psychological. There's a saying that goes like, what you do to one thing, you do to everything. And if you really start to be lazy and let your body go, then imagine everything else in your life that surrounds you, that what you do, you're just going to let that go. You're going to be lazy on that, And like, people have a perspective on what they want. Like, what's the total package, right? Like, you're not going to tell me, hey, you want some guy, short, fat, and lazy that makes no money. Right. Same thing with a guy, with a woman. You want someone who is active. You want someone who takes care of their body, because if she takes care of herself, then she's going to take care of everything else around her. You know what I mean? So it really starts with yourself first. Love yourself, then you can love others. And then if you treat yourself good, you can treat yourself up, like treat others good, and it's a whole reflection. So like, if I was fat and lazy, if you see my house, if I was fat and lazy, you probably wouldn't think it's spotless, Same thing with your job, same thing with your finances, same thing with with everything. If you take care of yourself first, you can take care of the world around you, you know? So I'm not fat shaming, but at the same time, there's also health issues to that. You know, there's also like medical issues, like it's a whole 9 yards. And then psychologically, if you're fat and lazy, you're probably more than likely more depressed than someone who is fit and active, right? And then there's a self-reflection to that. So if you want to put yourself in a better spot in life, then you have to go through the work, you know, because the work instills the worth. You know what I mean? And I think that's very important for male and female.
So if you are heavy or fat, are you always lazy?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
But
And
then
what
there's
about people who have the hormones or whatever medical thing? They don't hyperthyroid. I can't remember if it's hypo or whatever, because the danger in saying fat and lazy is that you are affiliating body size with a quality. Now, I'm not going to say I agree or disagree with you. I do know that if you're obese, you're definitely not good. You're not doing good things for your health. That's true. Let's take obesity out of it and just say there's some people who are just naturally heavier than other people. And no matter what they do, that's just their body size. So in that case,
well, people with that body size, you know, there's a sign of discipline and there's a sign of like a knowledge and acknowledge, you know. So like even if you were a bigger person and you acknowledge that, you can still not necessarily like shape your body, because it's not about like the shape of the body, but you can tell someone who is like a slob compared to someone who's just, you know, big boned, even though that's not really a thing. Anyways,
I know.
So
Everyone says that, but you know what? I think it goes back to what I like. What you're saying is like, just keep yourself up. Like, you know what I mean? Just keep yourself well groomed. You just have to keep yourself up. Of course, like I said, as a woman, as you get older, your body changes, your face changes. You know, you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, who's that person? Because you're so used to looking a certain way. Things change, but you have to do what you can to keep yourself up. And I think that, you know, for men, it's important. And same thing with men. Men, they change too. They get lazy. Men, you know, start getting that middle-aged look. And I'm like, look, you don't want me to look middle-aged, and I don't want you to look middle-aged. So I feel the exact same way about men. You need to keep yourself up too. I think both parties have to do what they can, their best, right? Don't get comfortable. I do think that women tend to get married and have kids, and they get comfortable and they have their husband and they're like, oh, okay. I don't think you should do that.
Right.
Well, if if the research is right and men choose with their eyes and women choose with their ears, then yeah, that definitely lends itself to you gotta keep looking the best that you can. But how does an older woman who does, let's say, keep her body up, that whole switch you out for a younger model that we see all the time, and all these rich men who I don't think are that attractive, but they have a lot of money and they have achieved a lot, and then they swap out. So like that doesn't, and I see the people that they're leaving, the women that they're leaving, they don't look like they've let themselves go.
Well, I have a friend who just lost her husband, one of my best friends, and he married her when she was 28 and he was already 50 then, right? So he just passed away a week and a half ago. The problem is, and I have a mutual friend of mine, she was saying that her very wealthy friends, her husband's friends, marry these younger women. But what happens is when the man gets a certain age, he's not physically able to please that woman anymore, which a woman's always able to still perform, but they can't perform. It's whether you're physically attracted. So it really kind of switches around. It backfires because a woman can still go and a man can't. The equipment doesn't work. All the women usually, there's a few exceptions, but for the most part, then you have this young woman who's going to outgrow you, and she has to take care of you because of illness. And that's what happened with my girlfriend. Her husband was so sick the last 15 years and she became his caregiver. But men don't think about that. Versus when you're with someone who you're with, and I mean, look, Cher has a younger husband. I could care less about that. She's engaged, right? I think that's great. But if you guys can grow together and be together, sometimes people don't think about that. When you get older and that young person doesn't want you anymore, what do you do? Right? You had the money, but then they're also going to have someone on the side because that person can please them. Because you still are physically women still want to have sex, right? They may not have a high sex drive like a man, but they still going to have to find a partner, while they take care of their husband. So I don't know. That's kind of a catch-22. You don't think about it.
It is.
I think because you can afford it and you can do it, you do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think anything extreme is always a little dangerous, whatever that extreme is. That's why I'm all about balance, right? So we're running out of time. Shocker. Final word on anything, basically.
Yeah, we did all the talking. You talk.
No. It's good. It's good. I talk all the time. I'm the constant on this show because it's my show. But final word from each of you on how you personally want to make this next year of love and romance better for you in something that you can control. Okay, so that's the last question. I will go first. What I'm going to control is I'm going to take Dr. Pat's challenge, which is I have to flirt with 3 people and hold their eyes and smile for, I think it was 8 seconds, because normally it's 3 and then you hold it an extra 5. And I'm not going to say anymore, I'm not ready for a relationship. From this point forward, I'm just going to say, I'm ready for a relationship, and then do the flirting and see what happens. What are you going to do?
What I'm going to do is honestly try to open up more, because I've broken hearts. I've broken my own heart and stuff like that. And it's like, now I'm very keen to myself, and so maybe I can start understanding the other side of things, especially with, my significant other or stuff like that. So,
or insignificant other.
There's some work to do.
Great. That sounds great.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elan?
Well, I'm going to do things that make me happy in a relationship, not what the person wants, and I have to please them first. If it doesn't make me happy, I'm not doing it, period. That's my motto this year.
Period. I like that.
I think it's great. I think that we get screwed up, especially as women. We put everybody else in front of our needs because that's how we're socialized. And that's really going to lead you to a lot of unhappiness. Yeah. Well, that is it. You have enjoyed today 2 special series all wrapped in one. Thank you so much, Elan Carter, for coming from Friday's Tempting Conversations. It was very short. But you're welcome anytime to the show. Sam would love it. And Sam, what are your impressions of Elan?
Oh, you got to put him on the spot.
Yeah.
Well, I think her and I think alike, and we kind of just bounce off back and forth. So, I want you to be on the show again, so we can just keep going with it.
Oh, that'd be great, because I actually think like a guy. I have a dude's mentality when it comes to dating. And when I was younger and I was modeling, oh my God, I was a guy. So I think I like the guy thing. So I think more of a man's perspective than a woman's perspective.
And I think that's good, because for the viewers, whatever I say, it's just coming from a man. But if you agree with me,
talk the shoot stuff. I can't say the word, right? Because I'll get in trouble.
Yes. Yes, please don't. That's a $20,000 fine for me.
I said shoot.
It's all about balance. Thanks for joining us. Remember, peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. We will see you tomorrow for Tempting Conversations with Elan Carter and myself. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of the day.
Bye.
Bye.